welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jacqueline and I'm making videos every week, a whole variety of things, lifestyle, beauty, adventure, all sorts of fun stuff, and I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And today I'm sharing another part of my beauty collection. I've already shared my perfume and my eyeshadow collection, and I'll leave both of those up in the corner throughout this video and down below in case you're curious about either of those. But I've been enjoying sharing my collection and kind of showing you what I've kept over the years, what I like, you know, all that fun stuff. Because I tend to keep my collection pretty much just things I enjoy using. I don't keep things that I dislike, if that makes sense, or like I feel like wishy-washy about. So these are all things I use pretty regularly, and I'm sharing my bronzers today. And I love bronzers. I love to warm up my skin. I don't know, I just love a bronzer. Like if I'm going for a quick look, if I just do like foundation, concealer, and I do one face product, it's gonna be bronzer. I just think it looks great. I can kind of put it higher up on my cheeks, so it gives me kind of a warmer flush on my face as well. I don't need blush or anything like that. And I just really enjoy bronzer. I use it as eyeshadow too. Like today I just have a bronzer in my crease and that's all I have on my eyes, and I think it looks really nice. And I just love bronzer. I don't know. I always have, I probably always will, and I love bronzer. So I'm going to kind of go from my least favorite in my collection to my most favorite. Again, I don't really keep things that I don't like anyway, so I like all of these, but these are just kind of the order. Like if I had to choose one that keep forever, it's going to be the very last one I will talk about. So let's start down here. This is the Wet n Wild. Oh my god, this whole thing is like coming off. It's the Color Icon bronzer. And I have this shade, nope, might not tell, oh, Take It to Brazil. And it's a nice lighter color bronzer. This one's good for like the winter for me. I tend to get pretty tan in the summer. I'm part Italian, it's just what happens. But this one for the winter is really nice. It's a little bit on the orangier side. Like right now you can't even see the swatch. It's like the same color as my skin. But I don't think it's like too orangey. It's definitely one that I don't reach for as much as the other ones. Like I said, this is pretty much something I probably only use in the winter just because of the color. You can kind of see it's like almost lighter than my skin tone now. But it's a good bronzer. It's really nice and finely milled. It feels great on the skin. It blends out really easily. It's just the color for me isn't great during the summer, so I just haven't been using this recently, but I like to keep it in my collection for those winter months. I realize also I have a lot of Physicans Formula, so you'll see a pattern here. The next one's actually for Physicans Formula. This is their bronze booster. They don't have a ton of shades in any of this stuff. This is the shade medium to dark. And this is actually pretty light as well. This is more kind of like a wintertime bronzer for me as well. I could definitely get away with it in the summer if I kind of went through a couple layers of it. But it's a nice bronzer. It's a little bit harder of a bronzer than the Wet n Wild, but I don't mind that. I think it gives off more color pigment. Again, you can't see the swatch on my hand. It definitely gives you a lot of color payoff from it. And it's just a nice bronzer. It's a little bit glowy, but it doesn't have like any glitter or anything like that. It's just has a really pretty glow to it. It does come with a little brush underneath. It's not a bad brush. It's a little bristly, but like I would never use it. I just kind of leave it in there. But I love this bronzer for just like easy looks. It's not super glowy, but it has a nice glow to it that I could get away with it without a highlighter or anything like that. But it's just a nice kind of everyday simple bronzer. You can slap it on and it will look good. It blends out easily, and it's a nice color. It's kind of on the warmer side, but it's not too orange. It's almost more of that reddy kind of color that I love. That's kind of the bronzers I like to go for. I don't contour a lot, so I kind of go for like a traditional bronzer that's more on like the warm red side. And I think this is a really great one. The next one's a high-end one that I actually bought for my wedding, and it looked really pretty on my wedding day, and it's a classic one. A lot of people know about this one. A lot of people love this one. This is a Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, and I have the medium deep matte bronzer. And what I love about this is that, again, it's kind of on the warmer side, but it's not too warm that I couldn't like chisel out my cheeks if I wanted to. It smells like chocolate, which isn't a big deal, but it does smell good. But I love this at all time of the year. And what I love about this is it's so blendable that I can get away with this in the winter months when I'm a little bit paler, or in the summer when I'm tanner. It can give me a beautiful bronze look no matter what. It's buildable, it's blendable, and it's just a really pretty bronzer. There's a reason that this is like a cult favorite and people love this one. It's because it's a really good bronzer. It's a great powder product. It works really well. And it's a nice color. It's nice and soft, but also this might be the only one you might be able to see a swatch so far. Yeah, you can see a swatch. Hopefully you can see that. But it's a pretty color. You can kind of see it on my finger. It's not super dark or red toned. It's kind of right in that middle between being a warm bronzer and being a cool toned contour color. And it just works really well for me. It's definitely one of my go-tos. And like I said, I wore this on my wedding day and it looked beautiful. It gave me a really nice warm flush to my skin without being overpowering or like looking muddy or like a stripe on my face. It just blends really easily and it's a beautiful bronzer and I love it. The next one, some people might hate, some people might love, but I tend to love it, this is another Physicans Formula Bronze Booster, but this was a glow boosting baked bronzer version. And it used to have a sun on it. And so what I love about this is that, again, it comes with that same brush. But what I love about this one is that it's got these golden shimmery stripes throughout it. So it gives you this really beautiful, warm glow. And it's more like almost like a golden bronze color, and when you mix them together and put them on your skin, it just gives you this beautiful, warm, not glittery, not shimmery, but like glistening glow. I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely got some shimmer in it, but it's great for like a summer night when you want to like look nice and bronzed and warm and like you're lit from within. It's good for that. I don't know how well it would do in like direct sunlight. It does have like I said, some like shimmer into it, but it's a really pretty like nighttime bronzer. That's what I kind of use this for if I have like a summer night that I want to, you know, warm up the skin and look kind of shimmery and beautiful. And I don't know how else to explain it, but it works really well. It's the beautiful baked formula gives it a nice pigment to it, but it's blendable and it looks really nice. It is kind of, again, on that warmer side, almost too orange, but it works for me. And I really enjoy it. Again, Physicans Formula just doesn't have that many shade options. So that's like the only bad part about these things is I love the Physicans Formula bronzers, but like if you have even a remotely deep skin tone, these are not going to work for you, which is really, really sad because they are beautiful bronzers. I know the next one I'm going to talk about, they did expand their shade range because it's, again, one of those cult classics, but all their other bronzers and their other products in general aren't that great for that, but I do like this bronzer and it is pretty. Like I said, the next Physicans Formula bronzer I think is their most popular one, and I honestly know why because it's so, so good, and it's their Maru Butter Bronzer, and I love this bronzer. So first of all, it smells amazing. It smells like suntan lotion. It smells like summer, and I'm obsessed. It smells so, so good. And what I love about this one is, again, it's so, so soft. It feels so good on the skin, but it's a great color. So this one also, I probably need a darker color for the summer. But in the winter, this is a beautiful bronzer for me. It doesn't have any like shimmer or anything to it, but it gives it a nice warm feel to your skin. And I think it works really, really well. The color is great. It's kind of on that cooler side. Again, a little bit warm. This one's probably one of the coolest ones that I own in terms of shade, but it works really, really well. And it's just an easy bronzer to apply. You don't need to worry about getting patchy or muddy or anything like that. It blends so easily that like it's one of those foolproof bronzers that you can kind of just like slap on your skin and it'll look good no matter what. And that's what I love about this one. And it's just, there's a reason everyone was talking about this for a while. It's because it's great. It's a great bronzer. I know that, like I said, they've extended their shade range a little bit. I haven't really looked at it recently, so I don't know how good it is. But for my skin tone, this one works great. And this is just the original bronzer shade. I know like originally they had like a light bronzer and then bronzer, and that's all they had. And like this clearly would not work for someone with anywhere deeper than me. And I'm not even that deep of a skin tone, like at all. But I know they've extended their range, so I don't know what it's like now, but hopefully it's a little bit better because this is a great bronzer and everyone should try this one if the shade range has improved. I don't know, like I said, but I do love this bronzer. It smells really good. Definitely one of my favorites. Okay, so the next bronzers I have are actually in a palette, and I'll probably talk about this palette, about the bronzer or the blush and the highlights in a separate video, but it is a Smashbox Cali contour kit, and I love this palette. So it has 3 bronzers in here. It's got like a kind of warm bronzer, a cooler, darker kind of contour shade, and then a shimmer bronzer. And I just love to mix all 3 of these bronzers together and just go down on my face, and I think they work so well together. It creates this beautiful, warm, but not too warm, glowy, beautiful bronze sort of shade. And I can use this all year round. Like I can definitely use this in the winter. I can definitely use this in the summer. And it's just one of those palettes that works so well for me. And I love it. I take this traveling with me all the time, and it's perfect because I can kind of use a little bit of everything and I don't have to worry about bringing anything else. But the bronzers in here are gorgeous. I really love these bronzers. Even if I didn't use like 1 or 2 of these other things, the bronzers in here are just so good that I would definitely get this again. I just think it's a really nice palette. The shimmery, like warm, glowy bronzer is beautiful. I don't even know if you'd be able to see that, but it's a really pretty color. None of them are too orange or anything like that, but they all work super well together or on their own. I could definitely get away with contouring with this shade, at least on my skin tone. It's a lighter bronzer, so I definitely feel like I have to mix them to get a good deep bronze if I'm at all tan or it's the summertime, but it works really well, and I just love the bronzers in this palette. All right, and then the last bronzer is my absolute favorite. It's newer to me, but I've been using it a ton, and I used it today, and I just love it. So these are the Color FX monochromatic bronzer duos, and I have this shade Sunset or Suntan Bronze. This is not the deepest bronzer I own, but I have been loving this bronzer this summer. It's almost more of like a red toned bronzer, but what I love to do is I just mix the matte and the like glowy shade together and use it to warm up the skin. It just gives me this beautiful warm tone to my skin. I've used this just by itself with no blush, no highlight or anything like that, and my skin looks so nice even with just this on it, and it's just so nice. I wasn't sure that this shade would be great for me because it is the darker of the 2 options, and I thought maybe it might be too dark for me, but it's great for me in the summer, and I think I could get away with it in the winter too if I use a light hand. It does blend out really easily, but it's so pigmented that you can definitely see it on your skin tone. You would definitely have to work to blend it out, which I don't mind. Like I said, in the summer, this is perfect for me. In the winter, it's just going to be a little bit more work, but it's just such a beautiful bronzer that I do not mind at all. I'm so glad I got this. This was actually on sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty event. And so that's when I picked it up, and it's beautiful. I'm so glad I did. It's so worth it. It's worth every penny. And I've been using it like crazy this summer. I had to actually like physically stop myself from grabbing it every time I do my makeup, or otherwise it'd be all you guys ever saw on this channel because I'm that obsessed with it. It's such a good bronzer. I could talk forever about this thing. It's so beautiful. Definitely, that's what I used on my eyelids today too. and it's just beautiful. The like shimmer shade isn't shimmery or any glittery. It's like a beautiful, just glowy shade. And they just work really well together. So this is definitely my absolute favorite bronzer in my collection at this time. All right, that was all of my bronzers. I thought I had more bronzers than this, but it's probably good that I don't because I only have one face and I do not need that many bronzers. But honestly, I do love all of them. If you have any bronzers recommendations, maybe there's a bronzer you love out there, please leave me a comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to join our little adventure family here. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. So I will see you in my next adventure. Bye.